Good morning. It is May 23rd and I am back with another African American history resource video. These are things that I have acquired over the past couple of months to add to our collection, and I would like to share with you all. So, that being said, let me get started. If you are following me on Instagram, you may have seen pictures of a few of these things that I've shared, because I can get pictures up faster than I can get video. So if you are not following me on Instagram or on my Facebook page, follow me there. That way you can see things a little bit sooner than the vlogs. Anywho, let me start with, have a whole pile here, a couple of piles. But first up, I have this African American History 269 rare vintage books. They're all PDF. These are things that have been taken out of libraries. They are taken out of print because of the content, things that society and the government wants to hide in the way of African American history, but they're there. Things from books from the 1800s on history and slavery, true content, the real deal. So to acquire this is just, I mean, this is a plethora of information right here on this DVD, or DVDs. It's actually two of them. And yeah, I've been reading through a lot of it, and it is right up my alley. I like to read deep content, real content, and this is it. So for required reading, this is something that I ages 10 and up, yes, they are required to get into some deep, heavy reading. There is that. And then I have, which I have shared, Kids Animated History. There is a separate video on this. You can go back a couple of weeks, I think, and look for this. But the kids are loving. They love it. Something they watch every day. So well worth it. Excuse me. And then we have Emancipation Road. This is a 7-part documentary. And Shadows of Slavery, Emancipation Proclamation, Separate but Equal, Regardless of Color, Regardless of the Color of One's Skin, The Double Victory, The Civil Rights Era, and Heroes of Hope. Okay, and there's another DVD that accompanies this that I will get to in a few minutes. So, you see, this is from the creators of Up From Slavery. Okay. Uncle Tom's Cabin. This version. Okay. Felicia Rashad and Samuel L. Jackson. We had the video version a while back, and also this DVD I had to purchase again. But nonetheless, here it is. The kids grew up watching this, and highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you don't know the story of Uncle Tom's Cabin, Harriet Beecher Stowe phenomenal works. So, yeah, and I will show you something else that goes along with this in just a minute. Alright, here's Up From Slavery, also a 7-part documentary. Okay. And the likes of Booker T. Washington. So this goes back to 1860, and actually starts in 1619. So yeah, 5 hours worth of material right there. Alright, then we have something that I also grew up on, The House of Dies Dreer. If you are not familiar with Virginia Hamilton, I loved Virginia Hamilton, and so did the kids. There's the sequel, The Mystery of Dies Dreer, and I will show you something that accompanies this in just a minute. There is that, deals with the Underground Railroad and things like that. I remember this coming on PBS After School Special growing up, so I would watch it anytime it came on. It's out there. It's rare, but all of these movies are kind of rare, but they're out there. You can find them. Like I said, 10 and up, you know your child, but these are things that I would not go younger than that unless your child is mature enough. And of course, watch everything. I always watch everything if I'm not familiar with it before I show them, but watch it with your child. Alright, and then we have the Scholastics School Book Treasures, March On, and it's just 4 stories, narrated by Michael Clark Duncan. Rest in peace. You guys remember the movie The Green Mile? That is him. But we have the books on here, and I thought it would be fun to get this DVD. The kids love Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all this civil rights. They really love it. So, March On, the day my brother Martin changed the world, Martin's Big Words, Rosa and Henry's Freedom Box, the true story of from the Underground Railroad. This is recommended ages 5 to 10, and 69 minutes plus extras. So they are, like I said, loving. And then we have 500 Years Later. And featuring commentary from Bill Cosby, Dr. Myelina Karenga, Paul Robeson Jr., Nelson George. You need a pencil? Hold on. This, again, is heavy content. Hold on. Alright, again, heavy content. This was filmed in 5 different continents. Award-winning. So, yeah, very, also highly recommended. This is, I see it everywhere. Everybody's been talking about it. And it's worth it. It is well worth it to watch. So, that. Then we have, I don't know if I've shared, we've had for a while, but if I did, here it is again. To Tell Me Who I Am, Journey Begins. And I enjoy the, it's cartoony, and I enjoy the pictures. The animation is great in here. I'm trying to get rid of this shadow. It goes back to Egypt, the journey, the pyramids back in Timbuktu. It's based on a princess from the 14th century named Nia. So the kids will watch this over and over again. Just, yeah. I don't want to give up too much, but they enjoy. And I'm happy when I do make these selections because they do love these things that I do choose. So that. Then we have March to Freedom, 400-year history from slavery to salvation. Okay, and there's your back. If you can't fly, run. Then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't crawl, walk, then crawl. Whatever you have to do to keep moving forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So, again, heavy content. This is 10 hours and 59 minutes. So you're going to get a lot of information here. It's not rated, but again, I recommend 10 and up and watch with your child. Anything that has to do with slavery, watch it with your child if they are not yet a teenager. For my teenagers, watch with no problem. Yeah, and then a favorite of ours forever is Selma, Lord Selma. This is Disney. When they marched to Montgomery. Journey Smollett, she's grown now, but I have always been a fan of hers. There is that, and just the time period, 1969, no, 65. So very I can't say just the girls like it, everybody likes it. But of course a little schoolgirl makes it all the fun. My girls really enjoyed it. So, alright. And this is, I think 89 minutes. Alright, let me move on. Alright, so, The House of Dyes Dreer. Virginia Hamilton. We also have the, like I said, the sequel, The Mystery of Dyes Dreer. I'm not sure what, let me see, what level, but I remember elementary school, I gave it to the kids in elementary. Heavy, but not that heavy, and my children were very high level readers. So they were reading Roots in elementary. So this is, you know, piece of the cake. But there's a book. I have here, very old, very rare, but well kept, first edition, Up from Slavery, the autobiography of Booker T. Washington. So you just saw the let me go back to DVD. So you see a theme going on. There is a movie and there's a book, and I always make the kids read the book first before they watch the movie, so that they don't miss anything. But this one has been around for a long time. Like I said, this is the first edition. And if you're lucky to get your hands on a first edition, find one. You might want to get two That way you can read one. But this is another book that has become rare. It's not out of print yet, but it's rare to find a first edition for a decent price because they're very expensive. And the new revised version is not complete. It's just like most revised versions, they leave out things. But I said ours is a very good copy, so we kind of take care of it so as to not destroy it. Alright, girl. And then we have Uncle Tom's Children, sequel to Uncle Tom's Cabin. And we have Uncle Tom's Cabin, also a first print. So if you can find one for a decent price, snag it because they are rare. And this is a very decent copy, but let me show you how old this book is. It was $1.45. Okay, you guys know we can't get books like this for $1.45. So, Idaho. Alright, next up, try to move some things around. There's Idaho. Yes, you see Idaho on the map. Thank you. Alright. We have The Kidnapped Prince, The Life of Olata Ekwonu. There's an introduction in here by Henry Louis Gates Jr. Highly recommend. Okay, let me just show you the print in here. Very nice print. California. My recommendation is a mature 9-year-old, 8-year-old. If your child is familiar with African American history, then they know pretty much what to expect. But it's not it's not as deep as these. New Mexico, so, Wyoming, Montana, Oregon. But very interesting if you don't know about him. Become familiar with him. It's a good read. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have Psalm 23. Let me show you Psalm 23. The pictures in here are very, very nice. And it's the scripture. We are lovers of art. And that's what drew me to this book. It's a biblical resource. Biblically correct. So I always try to find resources like this to share with the kids. And like I said, again, the art in here is amazing, and my kids love art. I've always been an art lover myself, so anytime I see books that have very vivid, descriptive pictures like this, it just, you know, because we can sit and just look at the pictures, and if it doesn't have words, just talk about it and imagine, and that in itself is a great lesson. So you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Surely goodness and mercy and love shall follow me all the days of my life.
Mom, Oklahoma. Mom, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yes. 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 All right, let me move it along. Mama Meaty, Caldecott, Kadir Nelson. I love Kadir Nelson. Mama Meaty, it's interesting. You guys know I cloth diaper. I also have, she's called Meaty for short. We have the Meaty cloth diaper. But I encourage you to look up Mama Meaty. Her name is Ngari Meaty. There you go. And she, in 2004, was the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. So, the kids have been loving. And this is 5 and up. And if you can get your child to sit, it's one that you would read to them. But look at the pictures. Tadpoles. Look at that. That just looks like something that belongs on the wall in the art gallery. Alright, then we have another biblical resource. Who built the ark? Noah. And this is based on the African American spiritual. My kids love the song, and it's one that we have a CD of, and we always play it. And I was excited to find this book. It's an library book, so it's a little bit worn, but nonetheless, we're still able to use it. So, there's the ark. Let me stop moving this camera like this. I'm getting you guys dizzy probably. Rare. Very rare. I just kind of stumbled across it. Wasn't expensive, but it was a rare find. So we were very excited to acquire this. And the kids go along and we read and sing the song, and yeah. And then we have World of Art. Come look with me. Discovering African American Art for Children. And this is the School of Columbia University. Oh, and I picked it up because it is art. It has a lot of artists that I enjoy. Again, I like to expose the children to artists. Romare Bearden's work is in here. I have shared Romare Bearden and a few of the other resources that we have.
Oklahoma, Virginia, Wyoming, Kentucky, New York. Virginia.
Henry Ossawa Tanner, I've also shared.
South Dakota.
be careful with that.
Utah. Texas.
Jacob Lawrence.
That
Ellis Wilson. I used to have, and my mother did also have the procession. Just a minute. As a piece hanging in our living room. Beautiful. If you remember the Cosby Show, the episode with the $11,000 painting, that was it. Romare Bearden. So again, I like to expose them to whatever, you know, art that I can, especially African American art. There's some, what room is this? Why are the walls different color? Why is one person leaning over the other? If you were standing in the room, what sounds do you think you will hear? What might you smell? What would you see in the next room? What might you see through the green window? So, lots to talk about in this art book. You need to be careful. Alright, moving along, I have 5 more books. So, I will just try to work through them quickly. I have shared First Family on Instagram. If you all remember a few months ago, back in March, I took you to the store I See Me, where I also purchased some more African American resources and that illustrated Bible a while back. First Family. Okay. The kids love the Obama family and the White House, and as you know, this is our last year, last few months with the First Family in office, this First Family. So I decided to go ahead.
See you later.
There we go. So there's some facts about the First Family and some trivia.
Genius too. Let's see you later.
The White House has 132 rooms, including 35 bathrooms. The Kennedy children, Caroline and John, had a pony named Macaroni. So this has been a pretty much everyday read they want to read. Alright, next up I found the Encyclopedia of African American Heritage. Let me show you how thick this book is. This just covers just pretty much any and everybody in history. Ralph Abernathy. It goes A to Z. Africa. Botswana. Guillaume Bluford. Medgar Evers. Matthew Henson. Garrett Morgan. The Moors. The Montgomery bus boycott. Martin Pouillier. Peter Salem. Sphinx. The Sahara. Hold on. Southern Christian Leadership Conference. There you go. Uncle Tom's Cabin. The Underground Railroad. So a wealth of information just right here to use as a reference guide to looking into some more resources and readings. And then I picked up Student Almanac, African American History, Volume 1, From Slavery to Freedom, 1492 to 1876. And also Volume 2, from 1877 to the present. The Reconstruction to today. And 12 Years a Slave. Oh yes, I have to come back and share because you don't see it in this haul, but another one. Another good movie and book. Timelines in here. So, there's that. And then do this one and just kind of share the table of contents. Let you see some of the pictures. Bear with me, I have no idea how long this video is, but well worth it. And timeline: Oprah Winfrey begins hosting her show. Jesse Jackson. Spike Lee releases Do the Right Thing. Clarence Thomas is appointed. Clara McBride Hale. Those are the Hale House. So these are things that the kids can use to reference things, and they can do this on their own. They can use these references on their own to look for material, that readings that they want. So that was the purpose of that. And then we have, it's upside down, it's so heavy, Africana. I was so excited to find this book. It is an ex-library book. There is commentary by Henry Louis Gates. He is the one that, along with Kwame Appiah, put this book together. Just a second, so let me show you the list price. $100. I did not pay $100 for this book, but I would have. It is very heavy, and in honor of Nelson Mandela, in memory of William Dubois. Here is William Edward Burghardt Dubois. Let's see, Harvard University. And this is the encyclopedia. It covers everything. I have gone through here. It's just so much information that these are things that I like to read myself, not just the children. So just so much information, so much on any and everybody in here. Let's see. Just to give you an idea of, you know, how many. I'm just looking at S's, how much is covered here. Okay, I have my own relatives in this book. Addison Scurlock is a relative, and there's a whole he was a photographer. So we are descendants of Doc Scurlock. Guys, remember Young Guns, the movie? That was based on my great-great-great-grandfather. He used to run with Billy the Kid. So, and yes, he is Irish. So yes, we are Irish. but yeah, Caucasian Irish. So here is African socialism, but let me show you some of these pictures so I can kind of move it along. Like I said, there is a lot of information, small print, but oh my gosh, it's been raining, guys. My throat is a mess. It's because there's a lot of information in here. It's one of those you put on the table, and I can imagine it was set out on the table in the library and not read that much to where, you know, it hasn't been handled a lot. So, civil rights movement. There are maps in here. Decolonization in Africa and interpretation. So you hear the pages turning in this book. Catherine Dunham. Freedom Summer, Freedom Journal, Free Village System. Some more maps in here. But just the pictures, just to have pictures like this. It's just awesome to be able to see old time pictures. And we have a historian in the family that has keeps track of these things, so we have pictures like this. And like I said, the pictures of my grandfather Doc, we have old black and whites of his family and things like that. Lorraine Hansberry, remember Raising in the Sun. St. Maurice. So, just of course something that you know, you obviously can't sit down and just read in one day, but I'm very happy to have found this book. I think I paid $12 for this book, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, it was a $100 book. So I was very excited. Addison. So you guys can read about him, but photographer, he was also an attorney. So there's that. But this, like I said, this is the end of the haul for now. This actually came, if you guys remember, back in last month when I showed you the scale. This came at the same time. So that's how long, well actually March, that I've been holding on. I think maybe February to doing a haul. But hope you guys enjoyed and stuck with me for this haul. And I have the curriculum haul coming up soon. Like I said, follow me. Share with me if you have any African American resources that you think I would be interested in, which is all of them. Please share with me in the comments. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to view this video. I enjoyed it. Took up a little bit of my time just to make it, but I know you all appreciate. So thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.